this week, Sony, was it leaked, or did Sony... Yeah, I think it was leaked.
It was leaked,
sure
but then
leaked.
someone confirmed it.
Yeah, the concept for controller design or prototype for the new PS4 controller, it's presumed.
The Orbith.
Yes.
The Orbith.
So, I remember we were talking about how they would be able to integrate a touch screen or a touch interface on a controller.
And I think your exact words were, I am not going to buy the PS4.
Yeah, well, there was many reasons, but that was the main one. And looking at this controller here, I think that this is the best case scenario for a touchscreen controller.
Yeah.
But it
It's
still
not even
looks
a touch screen.
stupid.
It's a touchpad, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Like a touch...
Don't want to cross that chasmous rift here.
Just saying, like...
Getting fancy on us, Danny.
They said it was like more like the PS Vita's rear touchpad, which I thought was
Useless?
Yes, exactly. Useless. I would prefer a touchscreen.
I feel like it might turn into our start menu. But then again, there's two other buttons for that.
I saw a good, it was like a concept of how you could have like the XMB style sort of thing on that touchpad, and you could like browse the menu through that. So I thought that was a good concept of what you could do. But in terms of, and let's remember that this is just a prototype, so this could be completely changed. But
becomes the boomerang controller.
But how do you think that something like this would play in a game, or how would it be integrated in an actual game?
I feel like it might be mostly ignored, kind of like how motion controls were.
I think it would be more menu based.
Yeah. Well,
Look
it's
at,
where the start and select buttons were before.
Look at Kinect for Xbox. Like, people try to make games for that. 98% of the time those games suck. But Kinect is a pretty useful feature. Like, you can actually use Kinect to browse the menu.
It'll more support the game than actually be a core feature, I think.
Like, I actually see, like, yeah, exactly like what Will said there. But just, like, a touchpad? Like, just a touch panel? Like, no. It doesn't...
Trying to be like Nintendo.
No, in fact, it's not being like Nintendo, because Nintendo's controller actually has a touch screen.
Yes, that's why I said trying.
Oh, I thought you meant like they were trying to do the whole emulate Nintendo but fail hardcore like they did with the Move. Speaking of the Move, it looks like the Move sensors are also on the controller as well.
Yeah.
Well, happy days.
Yeah, so I personally like the controller concept because the analog sticks are in the same spot. The square, X, circle, triangle, same spot. D-pad, same spot. And apparently they sort of fixed... They made it bulkier with... Like, the only problem I had with the PS3 controller was that it was kind of small.
I feel like it's not going to be mandatory on the PlayStation 4.
That was the exact same thing I was thinking. It to me, it allows that I could totally ignore that touchpad.
Yeah.
But let's be honest here, it's Sony. So Sony is going to make it a necessary thing for their first parties to put into their games.
I don't know.
They for 2 years, every first party Sony game had to be 3D. Killzone, Uncharted 3, they all had to be 3D. PlayStation Move came along, Killzone 3, Resistance 3, SOCOM 4. All of them had PlayStation Move stuff. But then when they realized that those ideas were incredibly stupid, they sort of toned it down, saying, you can put it in if you want. Like, you don't necessarily need it. So I think that's what's going to happen. Like, the first batch of PS4 Orbis next generation console games are going to be, like, you're going to see them have it. Like, you're going to see, like, different ways you can play with this or something. But then after about a year, when people realize, hey, just give us games that we can play, look better, there we go.
Do you think it's going to pull a 6-axis?
Yep.
And have, like, it's this really innovative hardware, and it's going to be revolutionize games, and then everybody goes to play the games, and it's just disgustingly integrated, first of all, and doesn't make any sense to be in a game?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
But why do they need to keep making that mistake? Like, I understand that they're trying to innovate, but it seems like it's paralleling the the 6-axis method all too much.
Because if at first you don't succeed, try again. And then keep trying. And then look up the definition of insanity in the dictionary.
To me, it makes me feel like a hypocrite to say that they shouldn't be trying to do small innovations. They should be going bigger. But then I don't want bigger. So I don't know what I want, all right?
I want my virtual reality helmet.
I am in indecision right now.
I also want my DualShock controller.
Now, see, like, the way I see it is get rid of Move altogether. Like, PlayStation Move is just... Like, I played with it before. My girlfriend has a PS3, and she uses PlayStation Move. Like, they have sports champions. And that's okay. But I don't give a crap about that. And I'm sure most gamers don't either. Like, that kind of stuff, stop trying to get all that into your games. That touch panel thing, that, like, if it's just a touch panel, they're going to have a really hard time selling me on what that can be used for besides, well, anything at all.
It's gonna... I hate to draw the parallel with 6-axis game, but it's going to end up like... The only use for 6-axis at this point is to walk across a narrow object and balance. That is literally the only thing that's been used for in the last any game that I've played. Other than maybe Heavy Rain. Heavy Rain was the best usage of 6-axis, in my opinion. But it was still not
you
very
clearly never
good.
played Flower.
No.
If you played Flower, and it is not... I am not ashamed to say that I have played Flower and loved it. Again, if you played Journey, you'll understand why those people are freaking geniuses. But,
it just seems too pointless to me. Like, at least Journey seems like it has some sort of goal and things that are going on.
Flower's fun. Like, it's fun to watch the game unfold. But anyway, all you do with that game is you press X to just like move, and then you tilt it like back and forth, up and down to actually move the flower petals or something. I don't know, but
move the wind.
Yeah, so that's it, and it works. That's the last game I have ever played where it has worked.
You actually pilot a concentrated force of Genova Chen's ego through the plains.
Hey, in his defense, he has a right to be egotistical.
He actually seems like a pretty nice
I still
guy
say
with
Journey is
no
one of the
ego,
best games I've ever played. So,
but
after all, I'm the only one here who actually considered Journey full-on game of the year.
No, I considered it, but I decided it's best not to argue with Lee.
I didn't play. What? There's no reason to not pick a game of the year.
I'm joking.
What am I?
Joking.
Is Lee like the almighty god of Nerdcast?
I thought about it, but we've all had more enjoyment out of Mass Effect.
I know I control the record button, but beyond that, I'm your equal.
Yes, I may have played Mass Effect a lot more than Journey, but Journey was just the overall, like, the whole package. Like, I've said it since the day I finished playing it. That game is 100% perfect.
Okay. Well,
but this is
we're talking about the
rehash of a topic four episodes ago.
So,
but anyway, so like,
what do you think about the directional buttons? Do you think that that's a good design to have there?
Yeah, because they look kind of different. They look more closer together. Is that like?
I'm not sure that's a good thing though.
They look like they'd be much more responsive than the ones we have now.
Yeah.
Well, I really don't like. As long as they don't make it so that it's like completely 100% different, where because like everything looks the same in terms of where they are. In fact, the analog sticks look like they like are. What's the word I'm looking for here? Convect or something? I don't know. But
convex.
Yeah, but they're not like rounded in like a hillish way. They're like it's like an indent, and that actually looks nice. I think Sony took a page out of Microsoft's playbook here.
Yeah, but I don't know. Pretty much everybody who uses an Xbox controller says that the joysticks on the PlayStation are much better than the Xbox, and that's the one thing that most people agree on, from what I understand.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, I'm actually quite different there then. I actually prefer the Xbox ones.
I don't know. Like I think that if the Xbox had the concave, wait, I always confuse them. Is concave is inside,
Concave and
convex is the outside.
Concave is going in like a cave.
Yeah, yes.
Convex is the PS3 version.
That was for my benefit and the listeners' benefit, just in case. But yeah, I think that a concave one, like on the Xbox, the little dots that are on there screw me up. I don't know. It feels weird. If it was just regular, I don't think I'd have as much of a problem with it.
That's really strange because I actually prefer the Xbox controller over the PS3 controller.
No. Of course,
I don't
it could
know why,
be that.
but I just...
It could be that I probably had a total of, on the generous side of throughout my entire life, I probably have maybe a day's total usage of an Xbox controller, whereas I've used a PlayStation since I was 8.
See, I at least had the benefit of, like, I played them equally.
I've never played an Xbox before.
Like, I have an Xbox
Never?
360.
Never.
Granted, I have, like, one of the original Xbox 360s from, like, 06, around the year where they all, like, basically blew up after about a year. So I'm pretty sure I have the oldest Xbox in the Southern Ontario region. Just saying.
Ever?
Never.
You've never been to a GameStop and just decided to play an Xbox out of curiosity?
No.
I call bullshit.
I don't even know if I believe you. Yes.
I cannot physically recall any time I've played an Xbox.
You were drunk.
Never been drunk.
Of course you don't remember being drunk.
Good
You've
point.
never been drunk? Ever?
Nope.
Hey, don't pick on him. Neither have I.
You guys, I don't know. I'm not saying that you're, like, lesser or anything like that, but it's something you had to experience. It's just like Xbox.
We are not men, apparently. Okay,
But anyway, that's
so
different.
we're going off tangents here, and Mark's not here, so we're not allowed.
But yeah, I don't know. The Move controller's interesting. Is that like a speaker on there?
If they like on the bottom there's a headphone jack.
Yeah,
Really?
and I've heard that people were saying that it's not the standard. It's the smaller one, like the on the Xbox, which is just ridiculous. I have no idea why.
It's more for headsets because you can plug in the headset on your Xbox controller.
Yeah, but it uses a stupid cable. If they're going to make a headset for the PlayStation, why not use another one?
Again, this is Logic and Sony we're talking about here. Whenever you want to see how Logic and Sony are paired together, just look at their marketing campaign for all their big games. And when you say what marketing campaign, I say exactly. Like I remember reading Twitter and I just go, wait a minute, Sly Cooper is out. I didn't know.
So would that be like for Move? Does Move have voice recognition?
No. I think it's just purely motion.
So then what is that underneath the screen? It looks like a speaker or a microphone.
Might be a speaker like on the Wii controllers.
Yeah, I was gonna say because like whenever you would play Zelda, when I played Twilight Princess, whenever you go and open up a treasure chest, it would have the it would come out of the speaker in the Wiimote.
Oh yeah.
So maybe something like that.
Yeah, or if you're playing like Mario Party, you can like tap the minus button on the Wiimote and it'll make the character sound and you just spam it to annoy everyone in the room.
It's a strategy tactic.
Isn't that like who was it? Was it I think it was Fox in Super Smash Brothers that was like you could just spam show me your moves over and over again. Was that Fox or was it somebody else?
I am Daisy.
See, personally, I like doing with the Ocean's like, I'm done. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
No,
okay.
that was Captain Falcon that said show me your moves.
Show me a move.
Yeah, over and over again.
Show me a move. Show me a move.
Did you ever see there was getting on a tangent?
Show me a move.
There was a video that was if you played what was it? I think it was a theme from Fire Emblem or something like that. One of the songs from Fire Emblem that was in Super Smash Brothers. And then if you as the song it was like perfectly timed for that taunt to be said over and over again. So the challenge was everybody plays as Captain Falcon, and then they fight. And then when it gets to that point in the song, you just have to do you all have to do the taunt like synchronized to the music, and then you can fight again.
That's really strange.
And if you don't do the move, you have to just stand on the edge and let someone push you off.
Well, what were we talking about again?
We were talking about Super Smash Brothers.
I need to talk to you guys about that afterwards, actually.
Oh, okay. No, back to PlayStation Move.
But yeah.
And the PS4 controller.
I don't know. I think this controller, I heard that, I think it's in the article, but there's no picture, that it says the triggers are like the Xbox too. It's, like, not curved.
Which, if you have played with an Xbox controller, you know the triggers are also better.
The triggers... The themselves are alright, but I find that on the Xbox controller it's difficult compared to the PlayStation to get up to like the bumpers, are they called on there?
Yeah.
It's awkward.
Basically the L1 and the R1.
Yeah, it's an awkward transition, more so than the PlayStation. Although that might be something you get used to after a while, but I remember the last time I played on an Xbox, that was the biggest holdup for me.
Alright, well, before we start turning this conversation into a Xbox 360 versus PS3 controller debate.
Well, first of all, they both have pros and they both have cons. Equally so. It's a matter of preference.
I said before we started getting into a debate, now we're getting
Well, I'm saying the point. I'm saying that there's no better controller, and if you say that there is, then you're stupid.
I think the GameCube controller is superior.
The original PlayStation controller without analog sticks?
I think that the original NES controller is the best one. In fact, I changed my answer.
Joystick.
I changed my answer. The Pong machine is the best controller.
That was
okay. Before we start getting into more debates,
I think that, like I said, I think that if they were going to integrate any sort of touchscreen or anything like this, this would be pretty much the limit for me. This is the baseline test of how much they can add of a touchscreen to keep me aboard.
I have one thing. There was only one thing about that controller, like prototype, that I saw that I didn't like. If that is a touch panel, like the rear touch panel on the Vita, Sony, you're stupid. Like, change that to like a mini touchscreen where you just navigate the interface. Other than that, your controller's golden. I'll buy it.
And it is a prototype, so it very well could be that. And this controller is not on or anything like that at this point.
Yeah, so I might have just like seen it wrong, but whatever.
Well, we don't know. No one knows.
We will find out Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time.
Oh yeah, that's right. The announcement.
PlayStation Meeting 2013.
Mm-hmm. NERDcast live blog.
We could do that. We just
Probably
might.
won't be
Anyway.
All right.
It'll be exciting.
All right. Yay or nay on the prototype controller?
Yes, Danny, we think it's a prototype.
No, on whether or not you like it.
Oh. Sure.
Like is a strong word, but I don't hate it.
It's
tolerate.
Probably the best case scenario from what we knew.
I'm a yay. I like it. All right, moving on.
I want to hit you over the head with a controller right now.
What? Because I like a controller?
I'm gonna hit you with my Dual Shock.
Forgive me for liking something.
All right.
If I was like a Scientologist, then I would appreciate it if you hit me over the head with a controller. Of course,
now that Danny likes it, this is going to prove to be wrong, and it's actually just going to be a slightly smaller Wii U gamepad that everyone has to use. All because Danny likes it.
Just because Danny wants a pro theme, they're not going to give a pro theme. We don't fuck them.